Afternoon, peeps. And I fell asleep on dialysis today. I was a bit buggered after my reflexology on my feet and that today. But I'm back home. Yeah, news is getting ready now. I had Aiden ring me this morning because he was home on Facebook and people commenting on our post, remove that person's name. So I did back then because I didn't want to deal with any bullshit. But now, I'm awake and I'm back home, and I tell you now, it's on news here, but I tell you now, they want to be clear. They want to be very clear what's happened and what's gone on and where they got the news from and everything. Now, they told me not to name him, but I don't give a fuck. His name is Terence. Sorry, I did say Clarence this morning because that's what I thought my cousin said Clarence last, but it was Terence. Terence Kelly, and he's a Bruffo, he's a Forrest, and he's a Dalgety. He comes off all those families, And guess what? I've been calling out this particular family for the last 6 months. The last 6 months here in Western Australia. But you know what? Police did fuck all. I had the detective come out and visit me 3 months ago. Now this Terence Kelly, Bruffo, Forrest, Dalgety, well, Terence Kelly I'll call him because that's the Kelly family, and the Simpson families I've been calling out. Now, Terence has lived in Mount Magnet basically his whole life. I've been calling out, he might be a cousin, he could be his nephew, brother, but he's related to Ronald Simpson, and I tell you now, he's connected with Ronald Simpson, drugs are involved, Mervyn Eads, Sandy Davies, I don't give a fuck, take me to court, all of yous. Yous are all involved. This young man here, that man, that poor little girl. Drugs are involved, the mother knows more. The mother or that stepdad knows more. They're involved with these other mob as well. Because it's a pedophilia ring I've been calling out where we've got our own mob, black fellas involved. Ronald Simpson, his family, for this Terence Kelly, and this Terry Kelly, he grew up in Mount Magnet his whole life too. And I'm sure I've heard his name and I've had his name sent to me through my messages or written it somewhere in my notes over the last 6 months. Terence Kelly, you're a part of your ring with Ronald Simpson, Sandy Davies, the DCP involved. The police officers are involved as well. Police want to be truthful about everything that's gone on. You've never uncracked this case. You've never uncracked this case yourselves. Another young Aboriginal Yamaji man came to yous 3 days ago and told yous. Yous didn't even want to listen to him. He peeped over the fence and told yous all what he'd seen and what he'd saw, his observations. 3 days ago, all that money you spent not listening. And yet that black fella involved, who had that little girl, he does know that mother and he does know that stepdad. And he's also part of Ronald Simpson. Yeah, Jeff fucking Gallup, Mark McGowan, fuck. Mark McGowan, fucking Labor. When he is going to do your job, Simone McGurk sent me an email 3-4 months ago in regards to my concerns. Spoke a lot of bullshit in that email, but I'll bring that up after. But yeah, because enough's enough. Simone McGurk knows what's happening. I had the big main detective come out to my house. And see that detective Rob? I'm sure that's Rob who bloody reopened my case 6 years ago. My case was the only case ever heard in Australia last. And yet sexual abuse is rife in our communities throughout our state, throughout this country. Police are involved in this. DCP workers are involved too. This whole ring. Aboriginal workers need to speak up. Enough's enough. White fellas need to speak up, Enough's enough. You got that there's that white fella Keith going around, but he's doing it for the wrong reasons. This is sad, this is wrong. Sexual abuse is rife in our communities. Now, what notes or what information are they going on, I gave them a lot of information. We gave them a lot of information, I did. And one of my little cousins, who was, who I was supporting at the time, And then all those people who rang me, those women who were speaking out, enough's enough. Those black women there, You know, right throughout our merchants and Yamaji country, enough's enough. These black fellas got to be called up, because I don't give a fuck. And I'm not going to remove any more with what I'm going to say, because Terence, Kelly, Forrest, Bruffo, Dalgety, whichever mob you want to be from, but you're Terence Kelly, you grew up in Mount Magnet your whole life. Your whole fucking life, and I knew it because your name came up. Your name came up in the last 6 months. I've got it written down and documented somewhere. So, yeah, go away. And please, people, don't tell me to tell me to remove his name or never say his name, because it will impede the police case. Police are involved. Police are fucking involved in the undercover shit that's going on. So they want to open up, because remember that detective about a month ago or a couple of months ago that got found for pornography in Geraldton? The police officer in Geraldton? He's a part of it. Remember them other 2 young girls that came out about being sexually abused by family members? Well, they're in Geraldton, but fuck all got done there. It got hushed after. You know, when you Harry Nannups get done here down in Mandra, they get shut up and hush, you know? Fuck. You know, you had your Fred Collards. Your old Fred Collard put on a pedestal there down in Fremantle Council, and they still put him on a pedestal, his family. You know, enough's enough what's happening in our community. Police did fuck all. Look here, back on here now. Police did nothing. You know, it's others who've been reporting, because I had that detective. I had the main detective who deals with the sexual abuse statewide, and everything in the pedophilia ring statewide. Come and sit at my house, come and sit at my kitchen table, and I tell you now, you know, it's sad that West Australian government allow this to happen. They allow this to happen. You know, then their little reward, what? Their little reward was to, I don't know, make as though they're doing their job when it was in their own backyard that old time. Their own backyard that old time. And they allow the pedophilia ring to continue, because they have the Freemasons set up in these communities. You know, we got head office here in Fremantle. Then you've got the newest building in Mount Magnet of all places, where Terence Kelly grew up in Mount Magnet, you know, his whole life. And now, please, you going to do anything? Simone McGurk, you going to do anything? Well, I've been telling Hannah McGlade, but, you know, Hannah McGlade told me to shut up when I first started calling out the sexual abuse on Facebook. You know, that sister girl really hurt me back then, but, you know, I still loved her, respected her and what she said. But I never stopped speaking, and I told her that in a good way. And I said how I felt, disrespected back then, because of all women to say something like that. I didn't expect it to come from her. Not a human rights lawyer, not a woman Aboriginal woman who's been through sexual abuse. But that's what Hannah McGlade told me back when I started calling out about sexual abuse back in Western Australia. But yet, these women, academic women like Hannah, well, she's an academic woman who sat in an office, never down on community. And the thing is, there's a difference. I'm an academic black woman who's worked in my community, hands-on, dealing with my people's problems. So I do know what I speak about, you know. And I'm sick of people like Hannah, like your organisations, Nyala Maya, your Mervyn Eads, because Mervyn Eads is a part of this. Because him and Sandy Davies, Marianne Edlin McKay, your finger in the pie there too, dear, somewhere. You support these people because you and Sandy Davies, oh, that's your big brother. You know, and Sandy Davies, your time coming, old boy, your time coming. You sat in Grams for too long to allow all this shit to happen. You've sat in Grams too long. You need to be accountable, Sandy Davies. I'm calling you out right now, Sandy Davies. You need to stand down from Grams. You know this young man too. Sandy Davies knows Terence Kelly. You know, like he knows fucking Ronald Simpson and them all. Sandy Davies, he's the chair of the Aboriginal Regional Medical Centre up there in Geraldton, Grams. You know, we've had a lot of young women, you know, call out all this bullshit over the many years and nothing get done. We've had, suicides. Suicides, nothing got fuck all done. Jerry Georgiadis and Mervyn Eads still not accountable for all the funds that went missing and got put into that, with their little corporations, how they set them up for their own financial gain. Enough's enough. So when are people going to ask me to come to the table? Hey, I'll come to the table and sit. I'll tell you, because I sat in these offices, health, justice and welfare. That's why I speak why I speak. I had to go and get that piece of white paper. I'm sick and tired of people putting me down like Hannah McGlade because I speak the truth and still stand up. And I'm sick of all this jealousy in community from women like Marianne Edlin McKay and Megan Cracker. Fuck. Megan Cracker, where's your certificate in law, dear? I'd like to see your actual certificate, because I tell you now, I've sat in meetings with you and you can't comprehend fuck all. But I'm sick of it. So Terence, Kelly, Forrest, Bruffo, Dalgetty, because they're the three main families he's off. Enough's enough, And in those families, sexual abuse is rife. I've been calling out Ronald Simpson and Terence Kelly. He grew up in Mount Magnet. He grew up in Mount Magnet his whole life. Now, we want the detectives, we want to know, because the detectives went into Mount Magnet a few months ago. They want to fix this and they want to fix every fucking cunt. Because there's a lot of people involved. A lot of people involved. I've had a lot of messages over the last 6 months. All them inboxes, all you women, stand strong, stay strong, you Yorgers, you sisters. And my cousins, especially my little cousins. My little sister Hope, stay strong, sister. See, you was right on it, sister. And when you seen and knew some child was going to get taken, sister, here, this is it. But you just didn't know which child. You just didn't know which child, sister. We was worried for your little girl. Was worried for your little girl. You just didn't know. But you knew in here and you knew in here because our old people were communicating with you, sister. They were telling you. They were telling you something was coming up, and here it did. It did several months after. Little white girl got kidnapped. But who by? Terence Kelly. And where he grew up his whole life? Mount Magnet. Who with? Ronald Simpson. Because Ronald Simpson's a Kelly. I've been calling them all out. I did have a video where it shows what the women in Mount Magnet do after hours. I sent that to the detectives anyways, because I respected my auntie and not to put it on Facebook back then. After I did, I had to remove it. But no, enough's enough, your mob, enough's enough. We got to we got to stand up. So I'm calling a national stance and I'm going to organise a rally. I'm going to organise a rally here for us mob in WA, because enough's enough, If they're going to let Terence Kelly get away with this, fuck off. And police, you want to go and, recognise that young black man who told you 3 days ago. Recognise him, pay him his reward. And I know I gave you a lot of that information there with the pedophilia ring linked to all that, because I had that big detective come sit at my table. And he knew what I was on about, and he respected everything I said, and he respected me professionally as well. So, enough's enough, and these people need to be sorted. There's that ring, Noddy Cole, that's the name down here in the south, Robert Edgington, they're all involved, Dennis Edgington, all these people, that's your black man's club. Your black man's club I talk about. And there's Simon Forrest, this young man's a Forrest. Wow. All one mob. Enough's enough. Fuck, Sandy Davies, but you the big one need to stand down ASAP, Sandy Davies. Because you know this family and you know this young man. And you just kept quiet, old boy. You kept quiet. You sit quiet on your pedestal while our mob are killing themselves throughout Yamaji country. Right throughout Yamaji country. You sit quiet, Sandy Davies, on your ass, and you sat on your ass for years. You did it. When I worked in with Alf, you did fuck all. And then when I worked in the other services, you did nothing. And then when I seen you years later when I was in the DAHAG committees, because I didn't work government anymore, but I was still talking in community, I ran into you back then at one conference down here in Hilton many years ago. Told you back then, we don't need black money to fix black problems. Fuck, and you didn't even realise that. So time's up. Time's up, old boy. Enough's enough. We've had enough young lives die on your hands. You know, enough's enough. Come on, community. Dorinda Cox, sister, give me a call back, please. Because here, you're the only one that listens. You're the only one that listened to me last time. We spoke about it, but Simone McGurk wouldn't meet with us. Simone McGurk wouldn't meet with us, Anna. You know, I rang all these other women who sit on these committees and these positions. They wouldn't do fuck all. And like I said, Hannah McGlade told me to shut up back then. You know, it really shocked me back then. But yeah, but I kept talking to that sister and respecting her. You know, like I would nowadays if I seen her. But the woman's blocked me because this time here they gone too far. But never mind. My old people know Hannah. And you think you know culture and spirit? Your mum, Annie Mingley? You think you know culture and spirit, Annie Mingley? Well, you want to tell your daughter. She did do wrong. I done nothing wrong, Arnie. So yous keep disrespecting me the way yous are doing, because my old people know and they'll fix you their way. Like here, I told Marianne Edlin McKay last week when she disrespected me. My old people know and they'll fix you. And then I had phone calls. Marianne had a stroke. All of a sudden. Well, young fit woman like Marianne Edlin McKay having a stroke? Oh my God. Start thinking, you people. Start respecting me, because I don't do nothing wrong. I respect all of you mob, and I love all you mob who love and respect me. You know, and I'll speak the truth and I'll tell you how it is. I'm not one of them ones that will kiss your ass. You know, like Hannah McGlade's sister. You total different woman than I thought what you was. 1 minute you cried to me about other black men not wanting you, but then you in the papers stealing my story with as a married woman. Now, I looked up to you as a sister with morals, and one thing I respect in relationships is trust. I don't know. When you married, you got to love that someone, and that means not go mooning around behind their back. But fuck, you know. But these are the people leading this state. These are our people leading this state. Then you got your Richard Wallies. Don't worry. They're all a part of this circle. They're all a part of this fucking circle, sadly. But yet, no one won't do nothing about it. No one won't do nothing about it. We've had young Louisa Edwards up in Geraldton shout many, many times of the bullshit in Geraldton, what's been going on. I've yarned with that little sister many, many times. I've had to block her because we've had our arguments, you know. I can't put up with too much bullshit. But that young sister girl, I respect her work because she does shout out the truth there with what's been happening in Geraldton. But no one want to believe her because they say she's fucked up on drugs, meth, or got mental health problems, you know. But yet, Sandy Davies, you run Grams. You're the big CEO and you're married to the fucking, or you're married CEO at times. You're the chair of the corporation there. And your wife, what's her name there, Woods? Well, she's the big boss, you know. What does she know? She needs to be accountable. Because then when you look in health, look at all the hidden documents about sexual abuse that's hidden. Around sexual abuse, around all the sexual transmitted diseases that young kids have throughout Yamaji country, throughout Murchison, Gascoyne, Pilbara area. Go on. Go and get those health records, people. Ask for those health records. Ask for, here, Simone McGurk, pull your records out of your ass there. Go and get those statistics, and they'll prove everything I'm saying. Go and get the statistics. They'll prove how rife sexually transmitted diseases are amongst our young fellas throughout our state. The ages. Look at the ages, people. And it's sad. But yeah, it's just sad. Government need to do their job right. And please, you never did fuck all looking properly for this little girl. It was right in your backyard. Do your job now and put all those resources in and look for them young Aboriginal men that are missing. Look for them young black men that are missing. And question that family, that men, that pedophilia ring for young Hayley Dodd, because they all know about it.